it's just now getting good. Let's see if we can get this going. Dun, dun, dun. Ba-da-da-da-da. Oh yeah. We're here in Berlin. Can you believe that? That's why I'm, it's like 5 o'clock or something here, and it's like 11 o'clock there. Uh, we're yeah, got a little light going. Hello to Murray. Hello to Telecaster Bear. Always glad to see and hear or see the typing of Telecaster Bear. Thank you. We have Frank Achille. Hello from Mississippi. Our Life in Wyoming. Hey, Zach. So yes, I'm coming from a hotel in Berlin. Michael Davis says, hey, Zach, how's Europe? It's been fantastic. I've had a lot of fun. I've eaten way too much food. Probably had more fun than I should have had, but it's not over yet. Chad Cox, good to hear from you. Adam Wells Music says, hey, Zach. Yeah. Hello from British Columbia, Canada. Nice. Or as we like to say, Canada. I like Scott's Herringbone D28. Hello from Minnesota. Plexico. See, Plexico has always given me the love. Yeah, he always, times to dole out the funds for Super Zach. Come on, peeps. I love you, Plexico. We're going to give you a big heart right now. Yeah, love that. So thank you. Got to pay for the water here in Germany. Tungus Grump, I'm bored. Well, be bored no longer. We're going to have fun. Telecaster Remaster says, hi, Zach. Hope all is well. It is. It's all good. Hello from Alberta, Canada, from Jason Hobbs. Man, we are just having fun. And again, big thanks to Plexico for putting a little money in the old super thanks. It was very nice. Yeah, so I've been out on tour with my old college buddy Brad Paisley, and we've been having fun. We had Nacho Banos, of course, the great kind of the patron saint of the Telecaster. Yeah, I would definitely say Nacho is the patron saint of the Telecaster. He is an amazing person and very kind. And we had him along up until day before yesterday, so he was with us for a while. And yeah, K Major says hi, Zach. Let's see, K Major, Syracuse, New York. Hello from Rock Hill, South Carolina. Make rock and roll great again. Nice. Guppy Bill, snow knocked power out in Southern Oregon. Man. Hi, Zach, have Telecaster will travel. I wish I had a Telecaster in the room. I don't have one with me. Yeah, I had one in the room the other night. Would have been fun to do that, but can't really set up an amp in here. Let's see. Tongue is grumpier. You got to come back with another telly. Don't worry. I'll do my best to come back with another telly, or at least have one to show you, when I get back to the States. Nice. Our Life in Wyoming, which is Chad, right? Yeah, Chad. Water money, maybe a German beer. That's super generous. Thank you so much. Yeah, gotta have a beer or two while you're here. So thank you so much, Chad. Give that the old. Again, let's make sure that's. Let's see. Yes, Chad Cox did that. Thank you. Yeah. What are the crowds like in Germany? Well, we haven't played the show yet. It's the show's at 10 p.m. tonight, so it's not time yet. I think around later on we're gonna head down there, but hopefully it should be a great show. So it should be a great crowd. Oh, I like this. Howdy from Montana. What is your favorite color? Red or black Or actually, I really like dark green, kind of an olive drab. I know that's not a great color, but Psionic Audio out of Memphis says Guten Tag. I say Guten Tag. Terry Atkinson. Atkinson says, hey there. Oh, let's see. Dig the shirt, thanks. I'm sporting a little love for Ron Ellis, who's always been very kind to me. Let's see. Adam Wells says, I wired my Telecaster with your tone mod and love it. That's cool. Yeah, that's where you put the tone control only on the bridge pickup. And on a lot of guitars, that's a help. I have found some guitars that don't need that, and it sounds kind of good the way it is, but definitely on ones that have darker neck pickups and you're having trouble with it, it's a good mod. Colin says, looking forward to seeing Brad next Saturday in London. Have fun. Don't forget to check out the Gibson Garage. So is the Gibson Garage going to be in London? I will be in London with Brad, and that's actually the last show I'm going to be at. So, did you go all the way to Germany for one show? Murray says, no, I have been out for the whole European tour. So we started in Iceland, and then we went to Zurich, Switzerland, and then when we were in Rotterdam, the Netherlands last night, and then today we're in Berlin. So we still have a show tonight. You know, of course it's, you know, late, you know, it's in the evening, but not quite there yet. Let's see. What's your thought on the HS Telecasters? I don't know what that is. I just picked up a Fender Custom Shop Heavy Relic with Seth Lover in the neck. Really nice guitar. Well, I mean, I think the Seth Lover makes a good, you know, neck pickup. Absolutely. Ron Ellis is a tone guru. I agree. Yeah, what is the HS Telecasters? I don't know what that, yeah, clue me in. Oh, Jan Eriksson says hi from Stockholm. We will be there soon. So, yeah, watch out. We'll be in Stockholm coming up. Gibson Garage is a new shop that's opened in London. Oh, yes, I did know about that. Yeah, I'd love to come out to the Gibson Garage if there's time to do that. So, let's see. Six String Slinger says, morning. Do you have any master pedal style licks that are easy shape? The finger pattern same? Yeah, I don't have a guitar with me, but yeah, maybe we'll do another live stream and I'll show some pedal steel guitar licks. Hey, Zach from Montreal, Canada. Are you a P90 fan? Any recommendations for aftermarket P90 pickups? I've had some Ron Ellis makes a great one. Wolf Tone makes a really nice one. Even the Antiquity, you know, P90 is pretty good. I mean, nothing sounds exactly like a really good old one, but there's a lot of, you know, really good ones out there. Let's see. Hi to Berlin from Berlin, says Lee. Looks like Leah or Lee Adams. Nice. Hello from Denver. Oh, HS equals humbucker single coil. Well, that sounds like a cool model. Of course, you know, kind of the Keith Richards thing. Yeah, I think that's, and especially if it has the Seth Lover. But you know, a good bright humbucker can work well. Good day, Zach. What's the purpose of changing caps in regards of tone? Okay. Well, by changing the value, you kind of change the shelving of where it starts grabbing the high end, whether it's just like super highs or whether it starts getting the highs and a little bit into the, you know, upper mid range and stuff and starts pulling it off. Also the taper of it, like how fast it pulls off the high end. So if it does it too fast, it's kind of hard to dial it in. So yeah, on a Telecaster with single coils, you usually want, you know, 250K pots. When you go up to like the 1 meg pots that they used in the 70s and late 60s, yeah, they're not as nice with the taper. But, you know, a lot of people got great sounds with them. Anyway, Telecaster Remaster, oh my goodness, that was very generous. Thank you so much. See what I can do for you. Jeff Squire says, good day, Zach. What's the purpose? Oh yeah, That's what I answered. Uh, yeah, putting the base plate under a strap pickup is kind of a cool thing, and I've both added it to one, and then I bought one that already had it, and I think the Seymour Duncan Twang Banger is kind of hard to beat for being $100 pickup that already has the base plate on it. I think that's a really good sounding Strat pickup with a base plate, and it's relatively cheap. Ronald Simmons, I've got to restring my Rickenbacker 12 string today, and I dread it. Yeah, just restringing a 12 strings, not much fun. Let's see. Again, thank you to Telecaster Remaster. That was very kind. Man, Ed Bailey. Good Sunday morning, Zach. Well, thank you, Ed Bailey. Man, everyone's being very kind today. I appreciate that. Do you still have your first Frankenstein pet guitar mod? Yeah, and I've done a couple of videos with it. It's a Phil Kubicki black body that's single bound, and it's had about 10 different necks on it, and it's had probably 20 different sets of pickups and different wiring. It's had 2 different benders on it. It's a real Frankenstein, but at this point I can't get rid of it. So, and if you look up Ask Zach and like Frankenstein Telly, Frankentelly or something like that, you can see a video of it where I talk about it, and they're nice to have something where you don't have to be precious with it. So again, thanks to Ed Bailey. Yeah, good Sunday morning. Well, yeah. So getting back to kind of what we've been up to. Yeah, we had Nacho for a while. We actually got to go down to Valencia, Spain, where Nacho is, and got to see some of Nacho's guitars, and got to see. Yeah, it was just really fun to hang out with Nacho because again, he is kind of the guy that wrote the Pinecaster book and the Blackguard book. Those books are labors of love, and yeah, he's really done a lot for the Telecaster, and he deserves the credit for doing those things. So yeah, I was watching an old interview with Tom Petty, and he said the best way to get a 12-string Rick in tune is to have the strings as dead as possible. He mentioned he wouldn't change strings all tour. Yeah, that's a good thing. The other thing is, flat wound 12-string strings are really good to use because they're kind of, a little deader sounding too, and also they kind of get less gunk in them, and I don't know, they just kind of stay kind of dead and in tune longer, and they don't have as much boing going on, so they have more fundamental to the note, and they're kind of cool. But dead round wound strings is kind of a little bit of the same thing. Let's see. Mini vibes right on. Sonic Audio says Telly's in Paella. Yes, we had paella the other day in Spain, and it was fantastic. Nacho Banos took us to a restaurant. It was a tennis club, and so it was a lot of fun to go there and hang with Nacho. Yeah. Paul Hansen says, "Hey Zach, I have a swamp ash telly. Want some pickups that are lush with some grit. Any recommendations?" Well, I mean, I'm a big Ron Ellis fan, so I mean, the 52T is a great set. If you want a little gainier, you could go the Broadcaster set. If you're wanting to spend less than that, then I would go down to the Arcane 51 set. That's a good set that's a little cheaper than the Ron Ellis. And then if you're wanting to go less expensive than that, then I would get the Antiquity, Seymour Duncan Antiquity bridge pickup that's flat pole. That's a really good, inexpensive pickup. If you want the staggered pole thing, then get the 64 Fender bridge pickup. And I really like the 64 neck pickup. That's a good pickup. It has a nickel silver cover, and it's real clear sounding, and it's real nice. Let's see. Paella pairs well with acoustics too, of course. One of the things that's been fun is that the mandolin player Sierra Hull has been touring with us, and so she's opened some shows, and then I think last night and tonight she's been sitting in with the band. So that's been fun to have a mandolin player, especially of that caliber, playing in the band, getting to watch her, and she sings Whiskey Lullaby with Brad. As a duet. She kind of does the Alison Krauss part. So that's been a lot of fun to watch that. Let's see, Otto von Fledermaus. I love that name. What does he say? Hey, Zach, are you make a detour to Italy? You're already over the pond. No, unfortunately, we're not going to Italy. I wish we were. If you check bradpaisley.com, you'll see all the places we're going to be, but we're not going down to Italy. You're welcome, Paul. Have you ever heard of Q pickups from Croatia? No, I haven't. And I like your not applicable name also. That's nice. Hand wound to order. Avery's brag book. I saw a very detailed video of a guy who swapped all kinds of humbuckers on Gibson LPs, and he found that to get the fullest sound, he just needed to raise the action a bit. Well, changing the action absolutely changes the sound of the guitar and the feel of it and everything. Yeah. Jason Cornelius, my friend from the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I met him out on the road with Brad like 20 plus years ago. Great guy. Hey, Zach, do you ever just stop and take it all in? I do, Jason, and I'm grateful. I'm grateful to get to go on a trip like this, to get invited to go out and see all sorts of cool things, and to get to hang out with Nacho and Brad and sit down, with all my old friends with Brad's band and crew. They're amazing people that have been with him for 25 years. Yeah, I do enjoy sitting back and taking it all in. Please let Brad know we'd love to see him back in Cheyenne at Frontier Days. Yeah, I'll tell him, Chad. Yeah, I know he, who doesn't like going to Wyoming during Frontier Days? That's a good time to be there. I've been there with my buddy Paul Bogart. I think he does Frontier Days every once in a while. Hey, Zach, are you familiar with Berlanga pickups by Guillermo Berlanga, steel player? No, I'm not, but I'm intrigued. Ed Bailey says Sierra is great. Saw the clip of Whiskey Lullaby. Yeah, she is great. Avery's brag book. That raising the action did more for his sound than the most expensive humbuckers. Yeah, that's one of the things. If your action's too low, then you're just not going to get a good sound out of any guitar, because it's just, there's no tension, and you're not going to drive the wood at all. I get in trouble for saying drive the wood, but just, to me, it's when you have the action higher and there's more tension. I don't like high action, but you get more resonance out of even a solid body. Oh, Otto says he so love Brad over here, but this is never going to happen. I think it will happen. I think he's doing more, European dates now. I think it's just making the situation work out. I have nothing to do with his management or booking, so I have no pull there. Oh, let's see. Minty green, that's good. Hope your trip is going amazingly. Just wondered if you have a preferred brand or type of power tubes. The JJs work okay, and then also I like the tongue saw reissues from Electro Harmonics. I like those a lot. There's a bird outside that's whistling nicely. Wouldn't have ever thought of having an evening warbling bird in Berlin. Let's see. Everyone gives Zach a like. He's schlepping with us instead of chasing currywursts. That's right. I'm hanging out with you guys. Yeah, I would love to stay at your place, Chad. Which Berlin? I'm in West Berlin. So, yeah, and Germany. Is anybody making an Olander-ish bridge pickup? Jimmy has been using some Ron Ellis pickups lately, but I think he's using the 52T. I don't think he's using the various magnet version, but I'd have to ask Jimmy or Ron to find out which pickup he's using now. So, but you're right, he was using that for a long time, where it had the the A2 and A3s or something like that. And that is a good method for balancing out certain guitars, having where it's the mix of magnets. And some guys will even use 3 different magnets where it's like A5s, A3s, and A2s, you know, the A2s under the high E and high B strings. Did you try out, Jason's asked me about the Tone Master Pro modeling unit. I have not used that. I just haven't had a chance. But Fender gave one to Brad, and I think they have it out on the road as just kind of an emergency backup or something for people sitting in. But I haven't had a chance to mess with it. So, Wilson Jones, hi Zach. I live in Central London, so if you need any hacks for Denmark Street or anything, hit me up. Hint: there's nothing to do near the O2. Okay, well that's good to know. There will be a great master of the Telecaster, though who doesn't play a Telecaster much anymore. Hint, hint. That will be hopefully sitting in with Brad. So I didn't say his name though. In London. Let's see. Ronald Simmons. All right, he's just commenting on someone else's comment. Good to see you, Ronald. Julian Metcalf says, hello from Amsterdam, Zach. Have fun in Berlin. Yeah, I was kind of sad we didn't play in Amsterdam instead of Rotterdam. I kind of enjoy Amsterdam a little more. Nothing wrong with Rotterdam, but I have some people that I know that are closer to Amsterdam. Oh, let's see. I'm sure Nacho knows Berlanga. The guy is Spanish too. The guy is kind of a pickup legend. Huh, that's interesting. I'll have to ask Nacho about Berlanga. Let's see. Greetings from Idaho. What are your thoughts on refinishing a Tele with nitro yourself? Any kits that you recommend, or would you send it out to a pro? Well, if it's a real Fender guitar and if it's vintage, then I would definitely, send it to a pro. If you're going to do it yourself, then I would buy an inexpensive body first and experiment on it. Get some cans of lacquer just from Stu Mac or wherever else, and kind of learn how to do it. And make sure that you take care of yourself and that you wear a mask, or because that you really don't want to be breathing in lacquer, and that stuff off gases for a long time. So even after you spray the stuff, it'll get you high just hanging out around a body that's just been sprayed with lacquer, and you don't need to be breathing all that in and messing up your body. Let's see, Telecaster Remaster. He's dead on. That's who will be sitting in with Brad in London. Fingers crossed. Are Bad Cat amps popular in Nashville? I tried the Jeff Black model, and it had a chimey Vox sound, but it also can rock. I haven't played through a Bad Cat in a very long time, but they're great amps. Basically a matchless type amp. Albert Jabrin, I like that last name. Howdy from the Hill Country, big fan. Just saw JD in San Antonio. Thanks for turning me on to this cat. Amazing. JD is amazing. And I found out that he cut some tunes, that he produced some tunes for Sierra Hull that'll be hopefully coming out at some point. Yeah. And your bird can sing, the Beatles. Yes, because there's been a bird singing outside. I've got the window open because I don't know what it is, but this is a nice hotel room, but it's very hot. And every time I come into a hotel room, the first thing I do is go straight for the thermostat. I start, just kind of trying to get it down, because I don't like it hot, even though it's not really warm here. Let's see. Ooh, Jason Hobbs asks a sticky question. He says, having played Fender Custom Shop vintage Teles, how does Nacho Teles differ or stack up against these guitars? The Nacho is a very much as it's a, they're expensive instruments, and they're being done all with nitro, and they're taking a lot of time on the distressing. So I would say in general, the Nacho is going to be much more realistic looking than most Fender custom shop guitars. No offense to, unless you're talking about a master built or something of that ilk. So Nacho actually is part of the, the distressing of his guitars. He has guys with him. I met the people, and they they're, yeah. So there's a lot of handiwork involved in that. Of course, I'd love to visit the Fender custom shop at some point, but I have to, of course, Nacho's a friend too. So yeah, the best thing to do is try them out and see which one floats your boat. I know it's not as easy to find a Nacho, but they're around. There's a number of them in Nashville. Of course, you might make some phone calls or something. Oh, let's see. Can you share with us Brad's setup for this tour? Amps, guitars. Yeah, he's using a Z-Rec, a Dr. Z Z-Rec, and a DB4, and then so there's just two amps, and then there's backups for those. Then there's a rack that of course has a wireless unit, and it has trays of pedals, and there's honestly, I haven't looked through the trays yet. I've been kind of, just kind of watching the show and kind of taking everything in, or hanging out and talking to friends. So I haven't really, but I'll do that tonight. And yeah, I'm sure there's the, I could see like some Wampler stuff, and a green rhino, and a variety of other things, and some different delays and such, and a wah-wah for like ticks and online, and some of those other tunes where he does the kind of cocked wah thing. Yeah, I don't know if he still uses his overdrive. See, here I am. I'm slacking on the job. So tonight I will look in the rack. Guitar-wise, he has La Brea, which is the '68 Paisley that was painted black, and when they removed the paint, they found the Paisley underneath it. That's a really, really cool guitar. And then there's the Splash Crook and the Water Crook Custom. And there's a couple of 52, there's some Blackguards that have, that are refins. One of them's refinned red and has a white pick guard that he usually starts the show off with. And then there's another Blackguard that has a clear pick guard on it. It's painted, blonde. And then it's got the clear pick guard with kind of a black and gold Paisley pattern underneath it. All right. Always Ernie Ball strings 10 through 46. And heavy gauge picks. Let's see. Howdy. Has anyone used a neck plate mounted strap button to balance a neck heavy telly? No, but I've seen different people do that through the years, where they've, I remember even seeing Mark Knopfler in the early days of Dire Straits, where he had put a strap button, on the neck plate. It was actually using one of the screws. I thought that was kind of an interesting idea. But yeah, it's a good way of changing the balance of it. It kind of makes the guitar, it can actually kind of go forward. It can almost seem kind of like it will lean forward at times, depending on how much belly you got, depending on how many beers you drink. Oh, let's see. Nacho actually distresses to match particularly vintage tellies, doesn't he? Yes. Nacho has, he's literally written the book on vintage Blackguards, and so yeah, they use those as the models, or the what they're copying, the wear that's on vintage Blackguards. Joey Care, are Michael Kelly guitars any good compared to other cheap stuff? They certainly can be. Pick it up and play it. Sorry for typos, I'm on the treadmill. That's good, you're being healthy. Yeah, JD used a telly, sounded great. Tab Benoit played his 72 thin line. Made me think of your videos. Now that was some serious tone. Tab gets killer tone from a simple rig, no pedals. Yeah, Tab's a great player. JD's a great player. They know how to pull a sound out of whatever they use. Oh, Jason asks, does Chad Weaver still tech for Brad as well? Whatever happened to Chad? I haven't heard from him in years. Chad left Brad in 2011, and he went on to work for Taylor Swift for a number of years, and then he kind of got tired of the pop international thing, and he worked for Zach Brown for a while. Then he worked for someone else, and then I think he's back with Zach Brown, and he is Zach Brown's guitar tech. So Dave is Brad's guitar tech now. Let's see. Greetings from Mr. Vague. Well, thank you, Mr. Vague. Jay Jones says, can you read music? I can read music. I can't sight read because I haven't done that forever. Crip Johansson. Big fan, Zach. Have a great trip. What adventure. I got to hang with Brad over 2 hours in a music store. First time he came over the pond the year after I got bridge pickup from him. Wow, that's cool. Yeah, he's a nice guy and a Tele fanatic. Very nice. Yeah, of course Kendall would set it up. Got to play the last song. Also alcohol. Nice. Well, that's awesome. Hey Zach, greetings from Maryland. Well, greetings. Jesse Harmon, hey Zach, at lunch with friends. I'll catch up on this later. Well, enjoy your lunch. No hill for a high stepper. Ever used a hip shot bender? Never. Jason Hobbs, nice to hear Chad is still at it. Thanks, Zach. You're very welcome. Let's see. Avery's brag book says, how is the tour? It's been going great. Everything's really been going well. Been great shows, great crowds, nothing to complain about. Good food. First couple nights I didn't sleep, but that has nothing to do with the tour's fault. But I've been sleeping well since then. Are you ever going to come play in the UK? Well, we're going to be in the UK, but I will not be playing. So I'm a guest. Hope to someday come over to the UK and play. Greetings, Zach, from Dr. Schenk and Pong. Wow. See, those sounds like characters from like some kind of book or something like that. I like that. Dr. Schenk and Pong. Wow. Wow. Hello from North Carolina, wise guy. Blind Lewis says, hi Zach, any thoughts on the now discontinued Fender Ventera 50s modified Telecaster? Well, that sounds like a good setup with the twisted telly and a broadcaster in the bridge. Rosie and the Rivets. No question today, just wanted to throw you a few euros for a coffee. Have a great time on the road. Well, thank you. They're a cool band. I haven't not seen them before, but I follow them on socials, and they're very cool. And thank you so much for throwing some money in the tip jar. Very, very kind. Do you have your own sound tech on tour? Sound in Zurich was perfect. Tell them. I will. That's his normal crew that have been with him for, a lot of them have been with him for 25 years. And they do a great job. Kevin Freeman does the sound at front of house, and that's the sound, of course, that the audience hears. And he's great. And I will tell Kevin Freeman and Brad. So thank you, 71W Joe. What's the one thing Telecaster related you want to try? Anything you haven't tried out or want to own? Jason, I'm spoiled rotten. I'm totally spoiled rotten and have played so many different things. Broadcasters, no casters. I've played the prototypes. I've played a ton of different guitars, and every once in a while there's just guitars from all sorts of different eras that are special. And it's fun to go try different guitars. The only thing I want to own maybe is I would really like to have a rosewood board telly, because that's the only thing I've never owned a good rosewood board guitar. And so whether it's slab board or veneer, Yeah, at some point I'd like to own a good rosewood board telly, whether it was ash or alder. I'd actually really like to have a Telecustom, an alder body, three color sunburst, double bound with a rosewood fretboard, maybe at like a 63. That'd be really nice. Or even a later one with like a transition logo, like a 66 or a 67. I think that'd be a cool guitar to have, especially one that was light. There, you got me going, Jason. Greetings, Zach from Two Star Techs. You got the twang. Well, thank you. Thought you were going to say you were from Star Trek. Adam Wells Music, what do you think about Filtertron pickups? Well, they're twangier than Gibson humbuckers. I think they're pretty cool. I like Telecasters. Good morning from Australia. 4:30 a.m. here. Well, you're up kind of early, Cameron, but thank you for taking the time. Troy Loop says American original Telecasters are awesome. Yeah, they are. That's the thing. It's like there are all sorts of great guitars, but you just got to go out there and find them. You got to find the good ones. You got to find the one that speaks to you. I think one of the best pieces of advice is to, take a friend with you, see if they feel the same way, or if you really want to push it and freak out the music stores, you take a blindfold or like a sleeping mask, and you put that on, and and that way you would judge it just by the playability and the tone and not the aesthetics. It's hard not to do because you find guitars that are just like, oh, this looks so cool. Let's see. The Big Brizzle. Oh, I like that. I've got a 1982 Tokai Roseboard. That's a golden era Tokai that's lights out. I sold my USA Fender because it was just so good. I believe you 100%. Especially the Tokais that are like 79 to about 84, those are really killer guitars, and 82 is a really good year. What in-ears do you use when you're traveling? I use some Shure's that I got off Amazon for, I think they were 80 bucks, and that's what I travel with. And I have them with me here in the room, and if I end up using an in-ear pack or something like that, or if I'm on the road playing, of course I use them. Kai Lockman says, you're here. I am. Hopefully you're coming to the show tonight. Thinking about a Tele custom style guitar with P90s and a Gibson conversion scale next for my next build. I mean, that sounds like a fun guitar. Are you going to put the P90 in the neck, I hope? But it'd be cool in the bridge too. Greetings, Zach from V-Man, who listens to you while watching the lava lamp. Man, I just like everything you talk about, Mr. Vague. I mean, it's like poetry to my ears. K Major says, love my 62 Tele custom reissue Seafoam Green. I had a really cool JV one that was 3-color sunburst, that was from 83, and I had to sell it to get my 57 Esquire, but one day I'll have a Tele custom again. Jason Hobbs says, what's the one overdrive pedal you'd take out on the road with a Tele and a deluxe reverb? It'd be a Moss-Torsion type, and I just got a Apollo approved device, Sawdust, which is like a high-end, not just a copy, but a high-end clone, and plus it has like an alternate mode to it, and I love it. They sent it to me, and I just got it right before we left, and I would take that or a Moss-Torsion type out on the road with a deluxe reverb and a Tele, and I could be extremely happy. Are you coming to Sweden on Tuesday? Yes, I am. Will be the third time seeing Brad live. Really looking forward to it. Hope you have a great tour. Thank you. Cameron Lasley says, awesome. Yeah. Where you'll be on stage? Well, I will be off stage. I will not be on stage. I'm a guest on this tour. So, Guten Abend. Oh my goodness. Adriatic Mountains. I wish I knew some German. Let's see. Chris Quinn says, what do you think of the Firebird fever that Bukovac has sweeping Nashville? I do like Firebird. pickups, but I'm not a big Firebird fan just because I don't like the big guitars. Hello, Zach. Are you playing in Holland? Well, again, I'm not playing, but they did do a show yesterday in Rotterdam. So, but we're not coming back to the Netherlands, Holland. Heaven Rec says hello from London. Hello to you. Slacker Deluxe says hi all. Let's see. Yes, Heaven Rec, you just about made it. In a bit, I'll be having to take off for, get ready before we go do a show. Crip Johansson says, is Brad rocking the DB4 Z-Rec combination? Yes, he is. That's what he's using. You obviously, you know the drill, and that is what he's been using. So, do you have a favorite Z amp? My favorite Z amp of the bigger ones is the Z-Rec. Of the smaller ones, it'd have to be the old Carmen Ghia. And I like the Carmen Ghia as a single 12 with the blue. Yeah, I think those are the best ones. Yeah. And Jason Hobbs chimed in that, yes. Yeah, he's absolutely using the DB4 and the Z-Rec. And it's a great, great combination. Yeah, sounds great. He's got that and some pedals in a rack, but a lot of what you're hearing is are those amps in a Tele. So he's got one super cool Tele that if you come to the show, you'll see it. It's a kind of a new Paisley, and that's all I can say. Telecaster Remaster mentioned the Rec Junior, which is that's a cool amp. I haven't gotten to play through one, but I've heard great things about it. Let's see. The Z-Rec is a great amp, absolutely. Hi, Zach. Thanks for all the great videos. Blackface Princeton versus Tweed Deluxe. Well, I'm going to take the Blackface Princeton, but I'd preface it by saying, of course, I'd prefer one to have a 12 in it, or a really good healthy 10 that's not going to blow or needs reconing or what have you. A Tweed Deluxe, great amp, and of course, most of the time when you say Tweed Deluxe, you're talking about a narrow panel, 55 to 60 model, which is a really great amp too. They're just really flubby in the low end with a Tele at higher volumes, which really a Tweed Deluxe and a Princeton and a Blackface Princeton are kind of in the same range volume wise, except you're going to get a little more volume out of the Tweed Deluxe, but it's going to be all distorted. Oh, Mr. Vague, he asks, have you tried Tyler amps? No, I have not. Actually, I have. A friend of mine's son has one, and I played through it. Yeah, we had a rehearsal with a buddy of mine that I went to school with, and his son is a great guitar player, and yeah, and he had a Tyler amp, and it was good sounding, a little Princeton type amp. Lyle says, Danke for taking the time to do this today. You're very welcome. I always appreciate your videos, Lyle. I love the way you look at gear and the live streams you do. All great work out of Memphis. Telecaster Bear says he digs his car Mercury that's 8 watts. That's cool. And Toon Herman said just spotted a Tokai ES60 VNT in Belgium for 500 euros. Wow, that seems like a really good price, especially if it's made in Japan. Man, if it's a good guitar, get it. I mean, if it's terrible, don't. I don't care how cheap it is. Jason says he's going to get a 66 Princeton reverb. Those are great ones, especially the ones that have this C10NS, like the gold and brown speakers that say Fender Special Design, and that's a really, really special speaker. And if you can find one of those, it's not blown. That's a really, really great one to be in that. Milkman Sound has some great amps. I've seen guys. Oh golly, why am I, Rick Holmstrom with Mavis Staples. He uses one of their like amp in a box things as a preamp, and he uses the reverb and tremolo and like the boost and everything in front of a Vox AC15 reissue out on the road. And so they do most of their shows as fly dates. And so he just has one Telecaster, usually a Blackguard, a real Blackguard, and he takes the Milkman, you know, with him and just runs it in front of what, you know, rental AC15s, and he destroys it every night. Oh, thank you, Lyle. Ivan Romanico says, hello, people. Hi, Zach. Yeah, we're having a good day. So, you know, we were, you know, probably going to head over to the old venue in a bit. So I'm gonna kind of taper it down, you know, since I'm here in Berlin, and I want to make sure, you know, I don't get some text saying, hey, we're leaving in 15 minutes or something like that. So I just want to take a little while to say hi to y'all, you know, because of course I haven't been doing my regular episodes because I've been out, and so I just appreciate y'all coming by and saying hello. And oh, let's see. Oh, we've got someone's talking about Reggie Young, so. Yeah, Daryl Witt, he's talking about the Reggie Young interview I did, and that was a very special interview. I mean, that was you know, one of those really special treats where you get to interview one of your heroes, and he happens to be he was an amazing person and such an amazing player, super influential. Hogan's Hideout says there's a thread on the gear page now about the difference in string tension between a Strat and a Tele, with Tele being stiffer. What are your thoughts? I kind of feel like it's a little looser on a Strat, yeah, especially if it's a floating tremolo. And so I tend to use 10s on a Strat and 9.5s on a Tele. I don't really use 9.5s on a Strat very much. Oh, how are you traveling on the Euro 2? Are you flying or are you riding on a bus? A mix, yeah. So it just depends on, you know, obviously we have to go across the pond. We're going to fly. But you know, just get there however you can. Do you plan to do an album of my own? Maybe. I've talked about it a little bit. You know, sometimes it's always you know, it's always interesting to you know, do new things, and you have to figure out whether something makes sense or not, or whether you're going to be sitting on you know, hundreds of albums in your closet. So, but thank you. I have thought about doing an instrumental album. Julian says, take care. Take care. Yeah, enjoy the rest of your tour, and I hope you're getting to sample all the nice beer, wine, and food. I am. I'm eating too much, having wreck. Have fun. Have a great time in town. Safe travels. Fleeter Mouse says, since you're there, try Sauerbraten mit brisket with potatoes. Oh, I'll have to see if we can get some of that. Thank you for taking the time to do the video. You're welcome. Rusty Banjo says, thanks, Zach. Yeah. Have you interviewed Tommy Emmanuel? Not yet. I have, you know, been around him a couple times. Super nice guy. Have you tried the Blackstone MOSFET overdrive? No, but I've heard really great things about it. I know Todd Sharp uses one a lot. All right. Well, I'm gonna call it an evening, so I can rest a little bit before we take off. So just wanted to say thanks, guys, and I'll see you next week or something like that. We'll see what happens. Bye bye.